All right, all right. So we may notice there's a different loading area now. Not perfect right now. I just wanted to test it out to see how I could get some background music playing and at least something visually on screen. Just my normal background for Be Kind and Kick Butt. I think what I'll do is eventually, not right now, excuse me, make a new screen for that. You know, a stream starting soon and a be right back or whatever kind of screen. Um, pretty straightforward one I'll make, nothing too crazy. But at least for now, when I'm doing all my nonsense, it feels a little better, hopefully. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't, but that's what I'm doing either way. So that is step above from before. Look at us. We're growing. We're real. Whoa. Echo. We are real streamers now. Just finishing up one more thing. I did not get anything to drink. I finished my coffee when I was on the computer just a little bit ago. So sorry, phone's having a moment. Okay, phone's having a little difficulty, sorry. I'm gonna grab something to drink. I'll be right back. I'll grab the iPad and hopefully we can get moving quicker. I'll be right back. Okay, and we're cooking now. That was dumb. I went downstairs and didn't grab anything to drink. That was half the reason I was bringing my coffee mug down and grabbing water. And I put the coffee mug away and did not grab the water. So, shall we begin? That's the transition music I just made up. Cool, right? All right, very cool indeed. So, today will be a day like normal with our art streams. Oh, I just cranked up the heat. It was really cold in here. So I cranked up the heat. It snowed in the middle of the night and into the morning. I was unaware. My little shovel fairy was definitely aware though, because I woke up and I saw the driveway had been shoveled. I felt bad that I did not do it for us, but it looks nice. But you know, it's always a weird one where it's like absolutely freezing then, and then you crank up the heat. But then when the heat's kicking in, I feel like it's going full force. Like it's just blasting, which then makes you super sleepy. So there's no good. It's just all over the place. So whatever. So as we learned the other day, ArtStation can be shady. There's boobies everywhere, even when you're not looking for them. And so what that means is I am scrolling through ArtStation on my own, just kind of off camera, just so, you know, I get my own little self-censoring of the inappropriosity. but still end goal of having some cool stuff. Yeah, oh my goodness, case in point, that was quite something I just scrolled through. Holy Stromboli. But I hope everyone's having a good morning. I know, like I said, for our end here in Chicago, it was pretty cold, pretty snowy. I actually didn't bother looking at the weather to see if it's going to continue. I guess scratch that. I'm gonna take a quick second and take a peek at the weather channel now that I say that, just so I'm aware. It feels like, for those not here in the Midwest, to understand, the weather says 11 degrees right now. Almost single digits, right? 1, 1. But the kicker with cold, for those that are, you know, uninitiated, it also, you know, Weather Channel will also say feels like, right? It'll let you know what the temperature feels like so that, you know, with the wind chill, with just the air and everything, what does it feel, right? Well, right now it feels like -6. It looks pretty when, you know, fresh snowfall, where, you know, our house is in like a little off street within a little subdivision, so like it's not like gross and grimy like it is in the city. But man, -6. Gonna go for a walk in that, and I will not be having, I'll have to warm up like crazy. So what I do, oh god, I'm so sorry. My mom got me tights, basically. They're like body glove, I think it's called. But basically they're just tights. And they are definitely warm as hell. But that was weird putting them on for the first time. I've never really worn. It's like, you know, tights for your pants and then like a almost like an Under Armour-esque kind of top. But it works. And I'll put them on like 20 minutes before I go for a walk, before I even step outside. And then, you know, once I'm nice and warm, then I go outside. Hopefully thinking I will carry that warmth over with me into the outdoors. But okay, so I think I went through enough of the wonky booby nonsense as usual here on ArtStation. Does it look better if I go up here? Because I'm always looking down anyway. It looks like I'm actually looking at the thing, right? Does that make a difference? Or should I be here? I always thought the side made more sense, but I don't know. Doesn't really matter, I guess. I'm going to get a new camera, hopefully at one point, not anytime super soon, but maybe within, on like this side, then maybe I'll get one or put one low. I'll put one down here so I can turn and give it a look. And then I might just reassess the cameras at one point too. Not in the immediacy, but in the future. Because I found a guy on Facebook Marketplace. He was selling a new Elgato cam, the new Mark II, which I was like, oh, I could swap that as the primary and then have a secondary one off shot. Because I messaged him and he collected a bunch of stuff. And I was like, hey man, you cool with like maybe trading? Because I've got a massive amount of stuff. And he said, possibly. So if we could do a swap for his camera with my, I had a whole listing, whole big old spreadsheet basically of all these things I'm selling. So he liked a couple statues, so we'll see. But anyway, here we are. I like this. I'm not interested in NFTs. Immediately get to like. So I saw this and it looked very like 80s playful sci-fi. Immediately attracted to it. So always like this kind of stuff. I like that the laser, excuse me, is an actual just button too. Just the trigger, I'm sorry. This is obviously the most fun in my mind. It kind of looks like a Planet Express mixed with like the Nautilus. Been playing Marvel Rivals, obviously. Oh my gosh, they're actually based off of different kaiju. That makes sense. Holy crap. Okay, that's 10 times cooler now. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's real good. I already liked it, but let's go see what this other person, what other stuff they make. Oh, gorgeous stuff. That's what they make. Look at these colors. Holy cow. Shadowed light. I'm not sure. Is that a game or is that just a project they're working on? Yeah, these are very cool. Got a lot of Kamen Rider, kaiju stuff. That makes sense. I like it. I like it. General Solvar the Golden. Feels very Dark Souls. Very, very Dark Souls. And by very, I mean like super duper Dark Souls. I've got one of my buddies. He's been playing Elden Ring finally. You know, better late than never. Finally playing Elden Ring, and he's been texting me about it a bunch and stuff like that. And it's funny because I'm like, man, I really want to play Elden Ring now. Like hearing him talk about it as much. I never ended up playing the DLC, Shadow of the Erd Tree. And I just signed up, you know, just the other day, the beta network test or whatever for the new co-op Erd or Shadow. I can't remember what it's called actually. Elden Ring beta. What is this called? Night Rain. That's what it is. But which actually I've been waiting because I got Elden Ring the day it came out. Obviously, I'm a massive Souls fan. Got it as soon as it came out, and then after it came out, I played it nonstop. Like my boss at the time, my lead was like, "Hey man, why are you working today?" And I was like, "Oh, I stayed up late and played Elden Ring, but I was gonna still work." He's like, "You've been freaking talking about this game for like since I met you. How are you not?" And I was like, "All right, fine. You've convinced me. I'll take the week off." And I just gamed all week, man. And my girlfriend, it was super sweet. She made like a little care package. She uses her Cricut, and she made like a little gift bag with the Elden Ring logo, and had like just like cute little treats in there to keep me fueled and fed while gaming. So that was absolutely adorable. But no, I was looking then at eventually rebuying Elden Ring here on PC then. So now that I don't really play on console nearly as much, I can easily set up if I wanted to stream it or, you know, record stuff. I've got the iPad set up to the capture card, so I could easily just kind of plop it in there. And my desk has clean enough spots where I could put the PS5, I suppose. If that were what I wanted to do. Would be cheaper, I suppose. But also, I've been enjoying having everything cohesively just here on the PC for everything. But anyway, yeah, back to looking at cool stuff. Work in progress and sketches. So these are just a bunch of very playful, very chunky designs. I like these. They look a lot like referenced from, what is that artist's name? This one in particular. I mean, this one looks like a creature box kind of mixed with, is it David Gutera, the artist? Is that who I'm thinking of? Yeah, I can't remember. David Guetta. Okay, well, okay, clearly the internet just knows David Guetta. But whatever. It looks dope. I really like this. I like this style. This, when I do 3D stuff, this is the kind of stuff I love to do. Like this style here, where we have anatomical detail, very clean and chunky, right? I freaking love this kind of stuff. So if I boot up ZBrush, I'm doing stuff like this, which one day maybe we'll do ZBrush stuff too. I think that'll be fun to swap eventually back to 3D. It's been a long time since I've touched 3D now, basically since my old job, but there's something really satisfying. So it's weird when you're working 2D versus 3D. When you're working in 3D, the satisfaction to me is all at the end. Like, because once you finish it, it's a longer process generally. I mean, not always super long, but a longer process to do 3D stuff than it is 2D. And it's like you earn it, right? It takes a longer time. And then once you've got it done, it's like, ooh, this is clean. And then having something that exists that you feel like you could touch is absolutely awesome. But then there's something different where the twist of satisfaction then comes the other way when I'm doing 2D. I feel like I find the most satisfaction in my piece in the first like 20 minutes, if not less. I like the sketch. I like the rough idea, and being able to go from 0 to 60 with 2D really quickly, I always love. Whereas 3D, I feel like it's a slower burn for sure. So the appreciation curve is a little different, I guess. But this is cool stuff. I like this chunky style this guy's got. This is Stupid Wars, a stupendous game that does not exist. These are very busy designs. This one, there's a lot going on. It's cool though. I like the style. I like the chunky proportions, like the little legs, big old head, but not like overly big. I mean, it's still pretty big, but I mean, not like super bobblehead. Okay. I said this feels very comic booky to me. Reminds me kind of like the designs remind me of an Image comic. I think it was Low. That was good. Where it's like a bunch of an underwater civilization with like these like mechs and stuff like that. The mechs are like big deals though. They're like only a few of them exist and blah 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 blah. Very cool though. Love the comic. Highly recommend it. Behind me somewhere, I think, the trade paperbacks. Yep, they're back there. Most of my Image comics are in here. Which, as of past few years, Image comics have been more intriguing to me than a lot of DC and Marvel. Okay, what are we looking at here? Another 3D thing. I didn't go strictly 2D again, just because I liked the variety. Okay, like a little axolotl guy. So I was listening to a thing, and I've always called it axolotl, right? That's just how my brain reads it. But there was somebody who was saying that like it's technically a Mayan term, like the creature that the name was derived from a Mayan term, and it's like Oyahatl or something, Oyatole or something, where it's like completely different than what my brain read it as, and most people read it as. But I never found anything else that confirmed it, so I'm not about to start walking around being like Oyahote, and people are like, I don't know what that is, bud. I like this. This is clean. Was this in Blender or Hebrew? Okay, so Blender. The grease pen stuff for the wiggly lines. That is an extreme expression. Okay, so he physically modeled that part. Ooh. His turnaround for the head, like, so on ZBrush, you've got like usually just a little block in of a head to kind of see the angle, and you could quickly snap it. I do not think I would like the muscle masses. Like, interesting and good point of reference always to have, but no thank you. I've got my own little crochet models and stuff like that all around the house that I don't need to constantly be seeing. Okay. These are pretty cool. Another very similar style, like I mentioned to the last guy. Very like chunky. Did he work? Did this person work? Okay, so they helped with initial shader work for 2XKO. Damn. I wouldn't have guessed that. Not that their style's not great. I just, for some reason, didn't. It wasn't super what I was thinking, I guess. But is this gonna be a super booby lady? Yep. I really like this. It's gross, though. I do not like that. I mean, it looks good, but I do not like it. It's horrifying. Or that. Oh, my God. When I'm clicking on these. Okay, so they've done a ton of stuff. Holy cow, this person's been cruising. And makes sense if they already worked on Heroes of the Storm and other stuff like that, that they'd be within the realm of Riot's purview. These are cool. I really like this one. I want to see this one, the Big Mom. What do they animate it in? Is this just like a... Do they say? There's no breakdowns of stuff. Because it almost looks fine. Like just like a 2D animation of a 3D shape in a weird way. Right? I don't know. It does look... I don't know. I'd like to see a breakdown. This is super cute too. From American Tail. I like it. Okay. Moving on. We're sitting here a little long. This is just a single sketch. Looks clean though. Definitely got some booby stuff, but not too booby at least. Alright, it's clean. I like it. From the Netherlands, it weirdly feels like if you would have told me that, I'd be like, yeah, it kind of looks like Loish's style. Very Netherlandy, right? Oh, here we go. Nico Dorico. Nico Dorico? Nico Dorico, The Magical World. Is this a game that I have no idea what it is? Probably. Nico Dorico. Oh, it's this one. This is the one that looked like Crash Bandicoot-ish. That they clearly were going for that. This looked amazing, actually. For those that are unaware, I'm going to plop this on and play it real quick. This was a game that was like 100% on my radar that I would like to play at some point. Just strictly for the style alone. Like, it looked phenomenal. I love this. And it feels like old Jack and Daxter, little bit like an old Insomniac mixed with yeah, this is it's not playing. Okay, here we go. But you can see it's very old school platformy. Look at these characters. Look how beautiful they look. Like, it feels like such an homage and a love letter to Crash Bandicoot, obviously with this sequence, but like the style like reminds me just so much of back in that time, whether we're playing like this game plays very Donkey Kong-esque. And then we've got Crash sequences, but then it feels just like Spyro mixed with Jack and Daxter mixed with Crash Bandicoot. And I could not be more for just the visuals. So I definitely need to, is this on my Steam here? Let's see real quick, because this is one that I would play on stream in a heartbeat, actually. Let's pull this up. What is it called? Nico Dorico. Let's add it to the list if it's not already, because like Elden Ring is not on my Steam wish list. Nico Dorico. Add this. It's just a base game for 30 bucks. It's not even too bad. So I think the second this game goes on sale, then I will probably support it and get that, because this looked good. And I completely forgot about it. And now seeing this art, it makes me want it even more. Hopefully they've got a handful of different pieces then, if this was an outsourcing studio. Okay, that was the big guy that we were just looking at in that trailer. Man, watching this stuff honestly makes me want to do 3D work again. Like, it's been a long time, like I said, but like seeing, like, talk about satisfaction that you gain. There's something so weird. Like I said the other day too, with like sculpting wood and tree stuff, fantastic in 3D. And same with cloth, like getting that like stylized chunky fold, 10 out of 10. Like, it just feels so good for some reason. All right, Nico Dorico, double sold. Okay, so these are like clay studies. I like when they do this. You can see the silhouettes always, how sharp they are. and clean. So I was cruising through Twitch looking for other art streamers, and I came across a young woman. Do not remember her name, but she chatted back and forth a little bit. She was on stream. She's got like a Patreon, really cute style. And she was streaming, and I was talking to her about, like, tips and tricks to or just like not even tips and tricks, like what works, where she's found success. Weirdly enough, this face of this character very much looks like that girl. Weird. But definitely I see a Chun-Li, so I'm intrigued. We got very booby ladies. Literally just a foot for jury. That is pretty funny that they oh crap. They had a whole load of everything. It's random characters. I'm a sucker for some Street Fighter. I like the post effects that they did. This looks really clean, but I like this. Based off of somebody else's 2D, so that we're going to see. Sangyeon Hum. Oh, a bunch of an art dump of Street Fighter stuff. That Sakura with the cross eye doing her little Hadoken. I like it. I like that a lot. Booby butts. Classic. Hades, though. Is it like a Street Fighter dump, or is it just jury? Okay. Ooh. What is the bird that drinks tears? I have no. Is that an anime or a game? Untitled game. Oh no, it is an old, like, okay. Huh. Cool. All right. Well, we are nearing. I wanted at most I want to just hit these up for like a half hour in the mornings when I do this. So nearing kind of where I want to close it. So good thing we're almost through this quick list. I found secret level designs for Dr. Light and Mega Man. Still haven't seen this yet. I heard very mixed reviews on it. So I'm sure I'll watch it because it's video game stuff. But okay. Also, this person did do a lot of 2xKO. Ooh, and I'm so stoked for Alawi in this game. I'm gonna obviously play the poop out of it, but then you give me, oh, opened in the wrong way. That Alawi looks so good. I keep forgetting, I guess, while we're chilling. Should probably have, at least even while I'm just talking, just some sort of music in the background. Well, since we're talking, let's do there we go. That's funny. 21 Pilots was one of the first things that popped up for me. And the top song lately from 21 Pilots is The Line from Arcane. So I think the music, I don't want the music this loud though. I'm gonna crank it. All right, maybe something like that. Yes, yeah, I know. I've heard you may be getting a tattoo at this point or something of more Arcane stuff. Your deep dives into fandoms. But if you haven't, look into 2xKO, because this game is based off of all the League property stuff. And I know nobody in your house plays fighting games, but they definitely, just the visual style, if you haven't been keeping up with this, it's freaking gorgeous, this game. I played the alpha lab a few months back. I was horrible, absolutely horrible at the game, but it was It was points where I just stopped and like as I'm getting my ass handed to me, I just like smiled and watched because I'm like, this is pretty. Very cool. So this person did a lot of the art direction on this. So they're the art director at, oh no, at Player First Games. Ugh. RIP. For Multiverses. Okay, so allow 8 designs. Cool, cool, cool. 1000%. I just, what's the newest? Do we have any new? I don't think that we've had any gameplay in a long time. The hope is that we get more stuff soon. Yeah, the Jinx sneak peek though, when they did this little. Even the UI, like that's one of those things. Like even the UI for this game looked so good. Like when you're cruising through the menu, like on my like on the player end, the UI was just oof. Like how they leaned heavily into Arcane here for this to be like, hey, look, guys, we're cool. The fact that their ultimate moves have like their own unique, like full animation like this is just. Alawi's is my favorite though. Alawi with like the Kraken. Where is that? Scrub. Oh, here we go. Ugh. But we don't need to hear it. The change to just these 2D. This that bite. Okay. Anyway. Ninja Turtles. I gotta cruise through because it's getting late, and I got other stuff, so I keep needing to stick to a better timetable. All right, cruising through. And then finally a. Okay. She looks jacked as hell. They made her. Holy cow. I like it. A Deadpool-esque Santa Claus. I always love these kind of shots. There's something so clean about like just a big strong guy or yeah, it's big strong character with then another one in set. Like Cloak and Dagger do that a lot, obviously, and stuff like that. Very cool. Alrighty. Okay. That was a while. So, good news. I'm only using this art board hopefully one more day. Oh my god. One more day. I cut it up. You can't really see, but like the back, I just chunked it. And then like the front rubber panel, since I can barely fit cables in there, I just ripped it apart. Like I got so frustrated. I just took a box cutter one day and just chunked it. And now cables can kind of fit in there, but only kind of. Oh wait, here. We've been doing that anyway just for background visuals. So let's is game audio closed? Yeah, game audio is closed. And then we can just pull up rivals just to have Big Butt Sue Storm in on screen so we can reference colors and stuff. But yeah, no, anyway, so the new one should be in today. I'm really, it's one of those ones like, you know, when you get excited for something, but you don't want to get too excited for it in case it's not as nice as you are playing it up to be in your head. But I have my arm set up and I've never used this artboard in the way of having it with like attached to something other than the board. And so having it on an arm is going to be definitely unique. And it'll feel much more like my old Cintiqs and stuff. But we shall see. But yeah, I think it was UPS. Should be here somewhere between like 3 to 5 or so, I think it said. Hopefully that is the case. Though they said it needed to be a signature, probably. It didn't say exactly, like on the UPS page, but when I bought it, it said anything over $70 is going to be shipping signature required. But I don't see it when I looked at it last. But anyway, so let's go to Sue, since we're going to be drawing her some more just to have her up on screen, right? Cool. We can see here all my nonsensical random drawings lately. This one, I gotta finish this. I was really happy when I pumped this out really quick, and then stuff came up and I just never touched it again, which is, you know, how it works. But that's fine. One day I'll finish this Merlin. It was for December, and that didn't obviously pan out to finish. But yeah, this was cute. I liked where this was going. Colors are already kind of there, and I was blocking in some base shadows, but one day. It's not Marvel Rivals, so if it's not Marvel Rivals, apparently that's all I can draw right now. But yeah, off stream, what I ended up doing was I tweaked a lot of these little tassels. Thanks. I know I need to finish it. I was so, like, if we look, it's so close. Like, I could really just half-ass finish it in like an hour if I wanted it. But yeah, it took... I was super excited for like the Disney December prompts, and then the holidays kill me. Like, between my family and Amy's, I love being near family for stuff, but also when you are just there, that means you can go to everything. And so if you've got this aunt or this uncle or this and that, it's a lot. But okay, so before I plop in colors and do that kind of stuff, I don't know if I want to line work this or just kind of plop in some colors right now. I think let's plop in colors and then do some line work over. But just trying to gauge if I got at least enough of the vibes, right? Everything looks close enough. I simplified the gloves because that's a lot of detail in the gloves. Didn't really draw feet, I guess. I just kind of blocked in. I forgot I never readdressed this. But does it really matter? I don't think it does. If you're drawing someone with like a big old butt like that, are they looking at the feet? Okay, never mind. That's actually that's not a question I probably want the answer to anyway, because not what I'd be thinking. We'll kind of quickly hammer in if any of these shapes need a little bit of touch up, but I don't really want to draw too much attention to the feet. Whether other people do or not, that is their prerogative. It is weird that even her toes are exposed. Like, I mean, it makes sense enough, but like, in terms of like thirst trappiness for this character, what they did, they're like, what if we hit literally every point that people go after? So it looks like there's less spikes on the feet. There's only 2 on the feet, 1 on each side, and then 1 on the strap kind of hanging off, right? That's a big strap. Do something like that to get the idea of the strap. Does she have... It's just one giant legging, right? And then there's technically like a seam. Does it start from the... Okay, so it contours the leg kind of coming down. Like... down... and then around back towards the calf again. Okay. Don't know how much that'll be visible because I don't want to do too much inner line work, but just so I've got an idea what's there. Okay, so now toes. What do I do? Oh, she even has weird long toenails. I did not notice that. I can't zoom in, apparently. They don't want you to look at the feet too much. But yeah, you see that she got like little curved. Oh, did not realize that. I don't know if I'm going to be drawing long, curvy toenails. That's not my thing. I guess they kind of have to be because we'll see the toes. Dang it. Dang it. Marvel making me draw curvy toenails. I keep wanting to play as Malice the few times I've been able to play the game, but like because she's a new character, everybody's playing as her, which is lame because I play as supports all the time. That's just usually I'll play any role, but support's usually, you know, what I need to fill in as. And now suddenly everybody wants to play support. But, you know, this is what it takes to get people to diversify their role picks. I'll allow it. Technically, it's like a big wrap of stuff, right? So this is probably down further. I'm really pushing the size of this and I'm okay. I really want this to kind of just basically be wrap. I don't really want to see anything else for the foot. My brain always farts. Inner ankle up, outer ankle down, right? Yeah. That's, for as much as I draw human anatomy, you think my brain would lock that in. Ankles look real high then now. I love how I always am like, oh, this looked perfectly fine when I sketched it, and then the second I go to add like how it should shape and look, I'm like, fart, that actually didn't make sense. So these are huge actually on her, these like ankle things. I drew them pretty small, but the actual design are relatively large. So let's just actually erase these and just really quickly plop in something a bit more chunky. She got real long legs I gave her. Pushing that perspective a bit. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Drawing these little nails, I feel like I'm drawing like like they feel like what I do when I simplify for like creatures, like a wolf or something like that, with their little toes. Is kind of weird for a woman then. Hey man, I don't judge. Okay. Let's be lazy. I don't really want to figure out what that would look like. So let's just say the wrapper on the foot actually is, it continues over that point on her foot. So we don't have to solve that right now. It's just a wrap. Sometimes it's easier to just allude to what should be there rather than having to solve it. Okay. It's getting real close to the edge of the frame, though. I might need to shrink her down a little bit in frame just to not look weird. Okay, so what is this? It is, so they're two different ones, but that's fine. So one chunky ass one here that actually breaks the silhouette drastically. And it's kind of, what perspective are we? Okay. We'll give a little bit of the backside. So let's curve it towards us then. Whew, I wonder if you can hear that. Like I said, it's been snowing all morning, and the snow plows are loud as F. But hopefully, it's not getting picked up too much. This would be case in point. For some reason, right here, my body just wants that stupid new board because I can't get this board in the position I like here on the desk. It's one of those things where, like, as an adult, the Christmas morning vibe is kind of gone, right? But when we buy weird things for ourselves and we're anticipating the UPS guy, he quickly becomes the new Santa Claus, right? Like, I am genuinely like looking like this is my Christmas Eve right now. I'm like, come on, Santa UPS, get here so I can try out my new toy. I wonder if they look at like that when you're having a bad day as a UPS driver and you're getting pissed off on a day like this where it's snowy and the weather's garbage and driving, I'm sure, in this is not a fun time, especially in, residential areas because you are getting the non-plowed sections. But I wonder if they just stop and think, you know what? I bet I'm Santa Claus to somebody today. I don't know if that would be enough to boost my spirits though, honestly. On a day like this, I don't know. That's a tough sell. I had a girlfriend back in college. Her sister worked for the post office, but they lived in Alaska. Freaking Alaska, man. Post office there. Ooh. I remember she made bank though. Especially as a college kid. I was like, she makes how much money? And I think it was like 65 or something thousand. So it wasn't even like, I think it was like one of those weird things where like they gave like the more you stayed there though, their bonus structure for Alaska with the post office was like really good because they wanted, it's one thing to go there, but I remember it was like, if I stay here for a couple years, I'll be making 120. Like it was like something drastically different. I don't know if you could pay me enough though to do that for that long. That would be a like, man, if I got paid really well for a year, I'll do that. I'll deliver mail in Alaska. But knowing that there's not like a finite end, I don't think I could do that. Like, I feel like anything, when someone's like, oh, I could never do that, it's like, man, I could do it. It just, I can't do it for a long time. And that's where it would get me, where it's like, ooh, fudge. I need something to trick my mind into thinking that there's an end. Okay, so there's her ankle one. Does she have, technically this one has 3 spikes, but we really wouldn't see the one. So let's just make this one a little fatter just to feel different from the other. Which is weird. All of her spikes, yeah, if you look, they're not even all the same width. Like their lengths and widths are all like notably different size. Which kind of like. But speaking of, this one is actually like itty bitty. Holy cow. Comparatively, at least, itty bitty. bad going for walks lately in this snow. Oof. I feel bad because normally I'll walk obviously on the sidewalk like a normal human being. But when the weather's like this, the sidewalk is a death trap, man. It's just icy as fudge. I almost fell on my butt countless times, so I've just committed to either I walk on the street if it's not too busy, or then I'm that guy who just walks in the grass, like on the person's yard. I'm like, sorry, I have more traction here. And then I just leave. I'm like, wow, it looks so pretty outside right now with the snow. And then you look at other people's yards and you're like, oh, look, Britain trampled through their, what is it called? Where it's like from the sidewalk to the road. I can't remember the name of it, like what easement. Oh, look, their easement looks like shit because some dude had to go walk through it. Yup. Because I'm not falling on my ass. Fool me once. Okay. This doesn't matter, the foot. Good enough. Though I do kind of wonder if we like, for the big toe at least. Oh my God. The new board is going to be nice, but this old iPad is definitely still an old iPad. And every time I swap between pencil and eraser, it only works 80% of the time properly. But no, at least just break the big toe for the wrap. And then everything else can just be like little knuckles underneath it. Yeah, cool. Okay, so that, and this last one looks like it's got like a dual or triple technically, but like we'll see 2 chunks. And this has 4 spikes, so this is more like the higher ones. Is the same? They look about the same size, so not too much bigger than this other one. But let's counter the the angle of it from the other one. Obviously, it'll look tighter than the other then, since it's about the same size, but higher up on the leg. And then it doesn't have anything going on there, but I do like including the fact that it's not just like a shackle, that like if we give that little bit like they have, it looks more like a wrap rather than just a big old shackle on her leg. I am looking forward, every time I'm drawing her now, the first YouTube video I'm gonna crank out that I've been working on with research and stuff is breaking down her design and where her original appearance was in the comics and the cartoons and stuff. And she is a weird character. Old 90s cartoons were weird, but even more so since this was Fantastic Four was around the 60s. Definitely a different world, right? Comics and stuff in the 60s were allowed to do and say certain things that just probably wouldn't fly the same nowadays, including like hate speeches and like these weird like racist agenda things. And technically she gets turned by, I can't, like the hate monger or something, who the original hate monger was Hitler, you know, because that's apparently a thing. The fact that to save her, Reed slaps her across the face and tells her to shut up. Definitely kind of weird. And when trying to make a video then for today's audience, part of me feels like, eesh, how do I sugarcoat this in a little bit of a way that doesn't sound so domestically violent? There's no spikes on her lower part. It's just the wrap. So What do we want to? So to counter the orientation of these spikes, let's do kind of how they've got like one. We're not even really. This one's like right towards us, the viewer. We're not gonna see much of it, but whenever I draw spikes, my brain there there was arcane. You missed it. But apparently that's what my arcane draws all the girls to the yard, and they're like, let's I don't know. I got nothing. No, yeah, it was 21 Pilots I had playing. So then the first song was The Line. And then we stumbled on one of the creative directors from he was from Riot and then moved over to Player First Games, but they had a bunch of stuff up on ArtStation for 2XKO, the new League of Legends fighting game. And so we were cruising through. They're that's good. They're hexier than yours. I see. That's why you make the big bucks. But yeah, as you see, this up here. Oh, where's the camera? That one. This is where all my game time looks like. My pencil brush? I don't even remember what this is from. Let's see. Who made this one? I have no clue, because apparently they never named it. Because what I'll do is I'll take stuff and I'll steal it, and then I'll tweak it 10 times over. So I don't remember what this one was based off of. It actually, if we look, it's alpha, or not alpha, I'm sorry, where am I blank? The shape, here we go. The shape was from someone, actually. I don't remember whose shape that was. No, come on. I'm streaming. So now what I need to do is I need to make a brush pack and sell it on Gumroad for $5 a pack. Come on. That's the rules, right? I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I joke, and then like half a year from now you'll see, and I'm like, damn, all right. I was watching a breakdown. Somebody like, it's wild how much some people make off of just like, I can't remember what the one guy had, but he made like, I think it was like 80 grand a year just off of Gumroad stuff he was showing. And it wasn't even my BBs that not to discredit his work, but it wasn't even like, it's not like you looked at the brushes or looked at any of the stuff he was selling on Gumroad and were like, oh damn, that's intense. But it was like the most basic stuff, but made 80 grand a year with it. Like obviously that includes so much more. Like you don't just get people to your page just because, like he does other social media things that draws them to it. But yeah, 80K. And it was like, I looked at it, it was like he had like starter pack weird things where it was like basic shapes and basic like super basic things. And I feel like at times, not to be mean, but like I feel like some of the stuff that people sell on that aren't even like that useful. Like if you're an actual artist, or even if you're trying to start out, some of that stuff isn't really that useful, but you think it is. But I mean, and you pay for it. Shit. I don't know why this spike keeps looking stupid. But yeah. So apparently I need to get on that Gumroad life. But in order to get people to the Gumroad, obviously you need people to already be aware of what you're doing and pumping out. But I think I stumbled on that guy's stuff because he is one of the only people who did like a review on the Sketchboard 2's Vesa mount. Which that's a whole other, getting stuff sent to you for free. Don't mind if I do. I'll review it. I'll tell you it sucks. What's the Office with Andy? And he's like, I could be a movie critic. This, or a food critic, this food is good. This food is bad. Okay, this is, I don't feel like doing that ankle anymore. Good enough. Her leg looks so friggin' long right now, though. I don't want to sell long ass legs. That's part of it. But it still feels a little long, so let's cut it by like just a little bit. I think it's her foot looked hella big too. That's probably it actually. She got these big monster feet. They want you to say it's good, but then like the people, the viewers, they want to know. They want to know the truth. Let's shrink this foot down though. I feel like it's. Oop. Why are you not going to uniform? We warp it too. Actually, here, let's shrink it and warp it a little bit. This iPad does not read a lot of my touches anymore. One day. See, that's what I need. Give me an Apple sponsorship. Send me a new iPad. For Best Buy. Honestly, I have touched it too much. That's very likely the problem with this, is that like it's been through the ringer, man. And it's like I sent the other day, there was the video with that dude with the Switch, where like every gamer knows on any vacation you pack your Switch, but you know full well you're never gonna actually play it. It's like a moral support. That's kind of what my iPad is too, though. So it's like I'll bring it on every vacation, every plane ride. It goes through security 1,000 times, and then I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I'm glad I have it. I don't need it right now though. So it gets the wear and tear without actual use. Okay, so that leg looks better. I think we need to shrink her just like a smidge right now because she's taking up a lot of the screen's real estate. That works. Yeah, I definitely do not watch. I don't think I've watched anything ever on my iPad. I'm trying to think. Like, it has strictly been a Procreate. Like, if I come out of here, there's stuff on here. Oops. Oh my gosh. But I don't know if I've ever actually. So I have. So you can see they all need updates because I'd never do anything. But I did look apparently, so I need to get a clip of Fantastic Force cartoon with Malice, right? And on there, the only spot that has that cartoon nowadays is Disney Plus. And you can't screen record Disney Plus anywhere. However, you might be able to screen record through a capture card. There's no folders, no shady folders. All you do is look at this and go, wow, this guy doesn't do shit on his iPad, seeing as everything has the little update sign. That I just don't do anything on here other than turn it on and click on Procreate. Okay, so let's look. What does she got? So the same idea with this leg, but there's 3 of them. It's inverted where there's like a bigger spike on there. I drew the foot weird originally, but it's fine. Let's do a oversimplification of the foot, and I don't really even want to do too much, but I'll give them the toenails, right? It's what the people are here for. They see sexy lady and they go, you know what I want to see? Some curled saber tooth toenails. Oh, that looks gross. That just looks like a giant old she's got like cute little spiky ones. How do you make a toenail not look like an overgrown monster. There we go. It's like a thin point, right? I don't think I've ever tried to draw attractive long toenails. That is definitely not something I've done before. And it's not something I think I'll ever like. Let me look up some sexy real feet. I don't want that in my search algorithm. I don't want my personal CIA agent to know that I've Googled that. Let's make it super sleek. I was trying to like overdo her foot, but if we're gonna do the big wrap over it anyway, so the wrap kind of covers the whole foot, the whole base of the foot. But yeah, definitely like it doesn't surprise me that she'd have her toes exposed because she's very like BDSM dominatrixy looking, but I didn't realize it actually until obviously I think everyone's attention went elsewhere first, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh damn, she got her little toesies out. Yeah, I played one match this morning. I woke up and I was like, you know what? Before I stream some art, I'm gonna play one match of Rivals, and I'm gonna play Sue. And someone insta locked her as soon as I got loaded in. I was like, you son of a gun. It was fine. I went tank and I dominated, but still rude, you know. They actually had this skin though, so that made me laugh. I was like, all right. You're a hornball. I appreciate. Oops. The foot looks weird. I think the foot looks weird because I just don't care to do a foot right now. I just want to be done with the sketch of her. I heard of your Mantis selection the other night. I love Mantis myself, actually. She's my go-to healer. Like if I want to win, I pick Mantis. But apparently winning was not on your agenda when you picked Mantis, it sounded like. Or wasn't a priority, I guess, let's just say, for you. There was zero agenda. I know Amy asked when I mentioned Alexis was going to be playing at some point, possibly Rivals. I asked, or she asked, she's like, "Oh, what is that vibe?" Blah 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 blah. I was like, "Oh, she don't give an F. she exists to enjoy the thing. I don't think she's ever played to win. She plays to just kind of cruise around." And it was funny then hearing, early story then of the first time you all played then was exactly that. Perspective on this looks stupid. I need to change it. I've grown like I can't imagine. It sounds so bad that like doing 2D stuff now traditionally I use too many of these tools. I use my warp, I use my liquefy, like I just slap it down and I'm like, let's liquefy it. Let's warp this. Like all the time. I feel like it's become such a crutch. I mean, you've got the tools, so use what you've got, but also I feel like my brain, if I were to boot up, boot up, even using the term, if I were to grab a sketchbook, um, I'd struggle. So that probably should be something I focus on is actually like grabbing just a pen and a sketchbook and practicing that to get more than that, like for more confidence of my line and stuff like that. Because right now, when you have the crutch, it's being like, yeah, we can change it. Yeah, I can change it. It's like, well, if everything can change, you don't really super commit to anything then. Ooh, yeah, I keep, whenever I'm drawing these, it keeps reminding, like, as if these toes are like some old, like, grandmotherly thing, like toes. I don't, like, that's all I see. I don't know if it's because that's how I'm drawing it, or that's just the vibe of something like this, or that's just in my mental scape of, like, I don't like long toenails. Whatever. Again, no one's going to be looking at these feet. And if they are, they're going to be liking feet either way. If you're a foot person, you don't care if it looks great. You just want the feet, you dirty animals. Okay, so what's got? She's got 3 this time, which I don't even know what I did. This original sketch, I just threw everything down. Surprisingly, the sketch itself took like 25 minutes maybe, and then now I'm like hee-hawing over everything. But the original drop of this was super quick. I was just chilling on the weekend. The toes are crunchy. The toenails. Oh, made it worse. Oh, like crunchy, like if you bite them? Why are you biting? Oh, no. At first, my brain went to like, oh, crunchy, like the sound they'll make if they like make contact with the ground. But yep, the intrusive thought of chomping down on a dominatrix-esque toenail. There's I don't remember if we've ever talked about the show The Middle too much, but The Middle, it's like the mom is the one from Everybody Loves Raymond, and Axel Heck is the Axel Heck is like the stereotypical like jockey oldest son kind of thing, and kind of dense. And man, this leg looks, when I took those off, holy shoot, that looks very funny how thin I made that. But that's fine. Let's shorten it a little though. But no, she's had like, the mom's had like a terrible day, blah 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 blah. And she goes to sit down and eat like a bag of chips that were just left on the couch. And Sue, the middle daughter, screams because the mom pours the empty, like the nearly empty bag of chips into her mouth to finish it. And Sue comes in and screams. She's like, oh my God, did you just do that? And the mom is like, yes, I've had a long day. I'm just finishing this bag of chips. I never bought, you know. And she goes, no, Axel was trimming his toenails in there. And so she just ate all of her high school son's toenail clippings. So that's fun. It reminds me of that then, having crunchy toenails. Yeah, for some reason that scene is like locked in my brain forever. Like that episode aired a long time ago. But yeah, now that's whenever I think of it. So what's the rule? If I saw it, you have to hear it. So you did this to yourself. I'm zooming in too much. So I need 3 of these, right? So let's angle them like forward. There's 1. And let's do it. um, have more. So these two pieces will be closer to each other. These two straps just for prettier looks. Obviously, if all even would look stupid, so I feel like I need to stretch that so they're different sizes. I made this like so damn long, and then now somehow I'm not able to fit them all the way I want. Even longer. Now I'm done stretching limbs after drawing Reed earlier this week or last week. Ugh. Screw all those nerds with stretchy limbs. Makes you think too much. Like you can break, because he's so stretchy, you can break the anatomy however you want, which almost frees it too much. And then my brain just broke because you can't. I need anatomy. These are huge spikes, right? Yes. Do one big one, just hard break of the silhouette here on the inside. Yeah. Speaking of hungry though, yeah, I used to always have lunch around 12:30 my time here. And since I've been streaming now though, I go till 12:30 exactly, if not later. Sometimes I've been going till 1 and even further. Man, I get hungry. Like right now my stomach's rumbling. I don't even know what time it is. It's 11:50. So like sometimes I'd be eating lunch at this point. My big old bowl of protein. Protein, PB2 and bananas. Fun fact, I freeze the bananas, right? So it's just PB2, which is, you know, the powdered peanut butter. PB2, a chocolate protein powder that I love. It's my favorite. Vanilla unsweetened almond milk. You know, it's very specific. And then once I mix it all together, it becomes like a thicker, like a pasty, almost like a pudding struck. You know, it feels like a pudding. But then I freeze the bananas, and so I'll chop them up into like little chunks and throw them in the freezer. And when I do that, though, they're just giant chunks. I don't want these giant chunks in my lunch, right? But also, how do you break up easily without making a mess? Frozen chunks of banana. I don't want to blend it. One, then I have to clean the blender every day, and I can't really cut it because they're so frozen. But you know what does break it? My teeth. I literally baby bird my own food like some sort of heathen. I take the freezer, I pull out the giant thing of frozen bananas that I've made, and I just break them apart. I do cut them. I cut them, but like imagine they're like big like I cut them into like I've gone through the whole process. Trust me. If you cut them too small, then they clump up when they're frozen and they become too icy. And if you cut them way too big, no, it's not a matter of how to cut it. I know how to cut them nicely. I just don't, it's when they get frozen, it gets effed. But if you cut them just like, so imagine a whole banana you cut into like 10 pieces, just slap, 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 slap. No horizontal or no, you know, like no cross cutting, just a single, all parallel lines essentially. That would be nice. Some sort of like misfits. Like, what do you what's your power? I control the consistency of bananas. Like, oh, that's cool, bud. That's real cool. But then somehow you become a super villain from that. Oh God, covering them in pre-workout. I would pre-workout in the middle of the day just for no reason. Just like, yeah, I could do that right now. God, you want me to have a head bonkers every day and die? I'm gonna make this strap really thin comparatively then, and like angle it sharper to give some better contrast. But yeah, no, anyway, so I chomp down my bananas like an idiot, and I just baby bird them though. I spit them. I literally just take it, chew it, and go, and I just drop them into my mix, and then I stir it all up. And I remember, like, when Amy was over the first time I started, the first time I was doing that, I was like, don't look at me. Don't look at me as I do this. And I'd like turn around and baby bird it into my own food. And she gave me so much shit. So now it's to the point where I dead ass stare her in the eyes as I'm chewing on a frozen banana and spitting it out. I'm a very classy fella. I never finished Misfits that last because I didn't like the last season when they got rid of unfortunately now my brain just calls him Klaus, but oh my god, the actor from that. Like when they switched some of the characters around on like I think it was the third season, I just wasn't as connected anymore. But that's one that I've been telling myself I need to go back and actually just watch from the beginning anyway. What kind of hot chocolate does your mom have? Isn't hot chocolate powder? You're chewing powder? I feel like that's even more upsetting. Just chewing powder with it just falling down into your goatee. Oh, you didn't say marshmallows. That makes a lot more sense. I was like, that is absolutely disgusting doing it with powder. But I guess marshmallows is arguably 10 times worse because they are disgusting and sticky. But yeah, I can picture you doing that. I can picture you doing that and then getting it stuck in your goatee though too still, the marshmallowness. Thankfully for not for you but for everyone else in the room not having to experience it in your beard. And she's got like spikes out the butt. It's hard trying to like distinguish where I kind of want them to still look cool but not look too uniform or too. It's always weird with random, when you randomize things to be like, are you making it super random or your brain still kind of the inner artist goes like, yeah, but it would look good if you pattern it like this. But it's like, no, 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 no. It needs to look random. I mean, I'd say we could watch it, in tandem, but you'd get upset with how slow I'm watching it. So it'll take you a year and it would kill you. Almost turned on Hunter x Hunter the other day since you had mentioned the Hunter exam fitness thing. But spoiler alert, I didn't. I didn't have time. I watched Silo. Come on. Of course I had to catch up on Silo. I kind of made note when I first started. I was like, I don't feel like detailing these straps. I'll just make it up half-ass and not really detail them. And now here we are. Basically, the whole stream was just detailing these these shackle BDSM strap things on her legs. Who'da thunk? Who'da thunk? Oh my god, that was stupid eraser. It shows it as pencil, but my stupid iPad, it does what it wants to do. Stupid arm. A new sketchboard can't come soon enough. I've been resting it on my belly, but without really much of a belly. It's not resting anywhere. It should be delivered today. Yeah, should definitely be here this afternoon. But with the weather, the fact that it's been snowing all morning and stuff here, it always gives me pause to think it might not get here. But hopefully there's no issues and it gets here at just put a cat. Yeah, I'll borrow your cat's belly. And so while I'm trying to do this, as I'm deathly allergic, you know me, I'm just like sneezing and trying to breathe. I'm fighting for my life just to keep my iPad steady. Didn't really detail the arms much, but that's fine. There's really not much to them, right? They're just kind of... I like the simplified look of these. I'm getting too detailed with some of these things anyway. But because I've got the like the angle I'm at in the game room, I overlook kind of on my left here the driveway. And so now that it's been snow plows all morning, my brain keeps getting excited thinking it might be the UPS truck, but it is not. It is not. Oh, it's tomorrow. I thought it was gonna be Thursday. The PC was coming. Is it Wednesday now? Did it get bumped up? Like this needs to be bigger. This is looking weird. Oh, I thought you'd be tracking it more. Yeah, it definitely was Thursday. You made note because also it is tomorrow because I was telling Amy I was like it's good that I was getting it Thursday because that means we're fine. He's not going to try and set up a new computer and have a billion issues on Wednesday when we play. And then that gives him the whole weekend to solve any problems for both work on Monday and games on Monday. So you're gonna sit there and try and set it up before you're Fortniting. Oh yeah, the first one of the year. That when you said like last, before, and then first, like my brain's like, wait, what? But yeah, starting to back up. So yeah, you've got a lot of stuff right. So I wonder. I know you'll be tempted, but I wonder if it's probably safer just to wait until the weekend to really swap over PCs at least. You know what I mean? Like start setting it up, but have you guys been doing it on YouTube streaming then? Is that how you guys have been doing it? Right? Gotcha. Yeah, I haven't listened to many of the others, but I definitely really like the one with Brett Bean that you guys did. I didn't realize he started off as a 3D artist, actually. Like that was new to me. I had no idea he had the background he had. And he's got good vibes, right? Like I've heard him talk and stuff before, but like hearing him on your guys' podcast or whatever, he definitely, I like his energy, right? He's got that really supportive vibe, which is nice to see, you know? And nice to see someone kicking butt then. And the whole stuff with the whole Jim Henson stuff, the idea that like he's got a friggin' wall, like people just walk in when they're getting stuff with Jim Henson Studios, and it's like, oh yeah, these are just a wall of Brett Bean art to look through. Oh gosh, how much are you? What's the how much money do you have set aside for MegaCon this year? Do I even want to know that number? Will I be scared? A small loan of $1 million for MegaCon. $400 sounds low for you, so yeah, if they're both there, 400 seems like that'll that'll be the down payment on something that you get, or as you like to think of it, as your first installment. So for these straps, I'm trying to like I've talked about before on stream that I want to make it like even but not even. So like if we see that we've got these two have their like pops sticking out, like we can see the overlap. I don't want an overlap on this one at all then, to kind of just feel like this is following the shape too. So her leg is curving, and even this is giving a curve to those endpoints. But then balancing out by making this bottom one thick compared to the others, just to give some variation. If all three were the same width, I feel like that would look, because hers all are the same width, more or less it looks like, but that 3D is very different than 2D. 3D, you kind of are okay getting away with certain things being more samey. I feel like on 2D stuff, if it looks too samey, it gets uglier quicker. But uglier, it's mean boring. Wow. Look at those feet. Those are some feet you could sell on the internet for good money. Yeah, right? Like, because 3D, you're looking at like everything's in motion usually too. So I feel like it's easier to be okay with things being a little samey. I feel like I may have overdone it. This looked real fat though, so I'm trying to pull it back a little bit. It's funny, normally I zoom out, but because the stream screen here, like on OBS, is even smaller, I feel like it does a better job of like zooming out for me mentally. So a lot of times I'll zoom out a little, but then I look up. I'll zoom out on here and then like a double zoom out to be like, what does it look like even smaller? Because if I do this, that looks ugly on stream though. It's itty bitty. Picture the community scene when he's holding up the little note trying to read it. The leg wasn't straight enough. Like it didn't feel like it was grounded in the same plane. So I'm just trying to adjust the angle overall of the thigh to the knee. Because I feel like you get that bow legged. Like this kind of pose would kind of pop her knee out in a probably uncomfortable way where you are like locking your knee. Everybody knows when you're showing off your butt, you gotta lock your knees, right? That's a thing, right? I heard it. I heard it from Instagram influencer. Disney and locking. You don't even, God, don't even start over 30. Man, my collarbone this past week has been so bad. Like it literally, like I couldn't move 2 nights ago. Like I was so locked into position. It just tightened up. Try being over 30 and been in like multiple car accidents and a broken ass body. I'll trade you. I'll trade you right quick. But yeah, no. I feel like, yeah, everybody's like, oh, everything cracks now? Everything makes, did it used to make that noise? I don't think it did it? Hey, come here, did my bone do this before? I don't remember. I feel like her knee is too, like if we're looking at this, her knee is too low compared to the other knee. So I think I need to fix that. I'll just tighten this space up instead. So maybe that bottom strap will be bigger and closer. That works. It's a little better. It just looked weird. The knee was so far foreshortened, but then the knee somehow still lined up weirdly with the other knee. Yes, it is. I don't even. Things will happen, and Amy will be like, "Was that?" I'm like, "You know, it was my body. You heard it. Why are we even drawing attention to it? This is not something new. It makes noises." Which is why, even more, I really want this new artboard, because like right now I've been drawing, and it's not like a terribly ergonomic position. Like I'm trying to keep back somewhat straight and stuff, but I feel like when I can, you're bound to like a board that can only rest in one way. I feel like I end up tightening up more. Whereas if I had the luxury of moving it around with this new arm, with the arm and having it VESA mounted, I feel like I can find an even better ergonomic position rather than making a position ergonomic with what I've got versus completely forming it to the way I want it. Cleaning up. Some of these lines are so thick and heavy, but it doesn't really matter. I may be lazy and just do like a paint over this, and then, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. So I've got the arm. I don't think we can see the arm on stream from this angle. So I took my old, I had the Ergotron arm, the one that like snapped, I told you, and Evan hit the screen, the old one. That was the new one. I returned that one. I got a different one with the pole, swapped it with the old Ergotron because the Ergotron has a smaller pole, so it's not hideous. And then it is sitting next to me now. So I've got the arm mounted, but there's no VESA on it right now. So the board and the VESA adapter come in one piece today, hopefully. And then I'll screw the VESA adapter onto the arm that's already here, and then I can snap on the arm back and forth, or snap on the board back and forth. And I hope that works. It's kind of an eyesore. Like, as someone who has like adopted this desk to be like unbelievably clean, I'm not a big fan of this, but if it functions better and it helps my posture, it's worth the little bit of messiness that I'm not a huge fan of, but it's okay. But yeah, fingers crossed. We'll see. And again, it said, I don't know if you heard before, it said it was going to be delivered today, but also noted when I purchased it that it would have to have a signature. But nowhere on UPS says it needs a signature right now. So I'm kind of not sure if I need to be here or not, because I go for my walks around that time. So I'm nervous that like it'll be delivered while I'm walking or something, and then it'll be like, oh, sorry, you needed a signature. Get effed. I am going to so these hands were simplified already, and I'm just gonna give a little bit of definition to these. You got pointy fingers too, just like her toenails. Yeah, mine, it used to give me the option to do that, to say, no, you're good, just leave it still. Like, opt out of um the signature requirement, but wasn't available. So that's what made me think, does it need a signature technically? Like in the system, maybe their website just noted it, but then like it doesn't necessarily always, because UPS didn't give me the option this time, which is what makes me nervous. Like yeah, so I'm just gonna probably go for a walk sooner than later. Even though technically earlier I looked at the weather, it said feels like -6. And not until 4 p.m. does it feel like 0. So that's, 0. 0 is the warmest time of the day. And I kind of wanted to go then, but that's right in the window. It's 2 to 5, it says. And that's directly smack dab in the middle for UPS. Which, as I say that, I got excited because an Amazon van just drove by, but that does not help me at all. can only imagine how big that box is going to be that you get with that computer, though. It's going to be 100 pounds. And just like, I know it's a smaller build still technically. Like, it's, but it's still a big case, still all that stuff. So I'm like, damn, that's going to be rough. I don't know. I feel like nothing ever will be as bad as when I ordered an 85-pound kettlebell from Walmart. Oh, wow, they included all the box parts too, so even that's cool. That makes sense that they'd give it to you, but I didn't think about that, but that is nice. But that also gives a lot of even more oomph. But yeah, no, I ordered an 85-pound kettlebell while I was at my parents' after, like, during COVID. And that was the most, I felt so bad. I tried to pick that thing up, the box, because imagine an 85-pound kettlebell, heavy already, right? It's 85 pounds dead weight. But think of it in a box. It was an 85-pound kettlebell that they had put in a box just slightly bigger than it. And it was like folding in on itself at the sides. So there was nowhere to grip it. Like a kettlebell, 85 pounds, grab the top, cool. I'll carry that up and down the stairs. I use that for, lighter squats, do all that kind of stuff. But like, imagine I tried to pick it up off of the front porch myself, even. I struggled. I struggled like crazy. And yeah, I felt so bad. Because in my head, I was like, maybe I'll keep an eye out. Oh, yeah, there was no padding. It was just, the box was just eating shit and a mess. I felt bad because in my head, I was like, I'll keep an eye out, and I'll see if I can run out and grab it from them. Because I understand that's going to be annoying. And I definitely missed them. And I just saw it sitting there and I got the thing that it was delivered. And I was like, oh no, they're going to hate us. Luckily, it was when I was at my mom and dad's, and my mom and dad are those people, or my mom is that person who leaves stuff out all the time for the delivery drivers and stuff like that, or like leaves little things for Christmas and stuff like, or the holidays in general. So I'm sure it didn't tip the scales too much into them hating the house because my mom was on top of it always. Yeah, I don't know how it didn't fall through the box, honestly. Like that thing, the whole bottom was taped to hell, which made sense. But yeah, I was shocked at the strength of the box. So my sister was there that day when I got that delivered. And I told her, I said, I opened it up and I told her this, how unbelievably ridiculous that was. And I felt bad. But also, so my sister's not like a strong, beefy individual, right? She's not going to be able to lift 85 pounds easily at all. But it was funny. So I told her, I was like, hey, I picked it up and I went, oh my gosh, come here and feel this. Like I just explained how heavy this was and how awkward this had to have been for the poor delivery person, right? Fully explaining that, like, I'm discussing the weight, talking about how heavy it is. And I'm standing by the front door and I'm like, oh my gosh, Mia, come here, feel this. Thinking she understands that I'm holding it, meaning like I'm supporting it. You feel the weight of it, right? Like either grab the handle or touch the bottom and feel how heavy it is. She walks up and just pets it. She literally just rubs the kettlebell. I'm like, this is the most uncomfortable, awkward thing. Why are you doing this? Because I'm standing there holding the kettlebell almost between my legs, right? You're standing there holding it. And she just went up and rubbed it. I was like, what are you doing? She's like, you said feel it. That was not the feel it I meant. Genie pops. Yeah, the kettle genie. You said feel it. That's not what I meant. Yeah, that sucker is sitting under our bed now. And it doesn't even fit because it's so big, like under the frame of the bed. So you have to like mash it as hard as you can. And the bed like pops up a little when you do it. And then when it gets past the frame, it's okay. But that's definitely an awkward weight to deal with, that 85-pound I feel like she's got, it shows two big like cuffs here, but I wonder if we just simplify it in one cuff, but then kind of give it like like a seam or panel line kind of thing that makes it feel, because I feel like, again, she's so effing busy, this design, and I keep wanting to simplify stuff. That's something I need to work on. Like I saw, was it Max Gordon? Let me look it up real quick. Hold on, I'm curious. Was it? I think it was on Blue Sky. Blue Sky. He simplified a thing of her and it looked so good. I think it was Max Gordon, right? Is that the artist I'm thinking of? Who am I thinking of? I feel like you would know this, Tyler. Max. A 2D artist. Max. Isn't it Max Gordon? Max Gordon sounds like a 90s comic book character or a Disney character. like a teen thing, like, oh, that's Max Gordon. Is there a way? Oh, you can look at likes, right? Is that a thing? Maybe it wasn't on Blue Sky then, because I do not see it. Crap. Either way, it doesn't matter. Like, he did a great job, though, of simplifying her shapes. Oh, it's probably Instagram. That's probably why. I've been trying to use Blue Sky more, but I think it was Instagram. X Keeble and Flash Gordon. Yeah, it definitely does. I'm getting hungry. What time is it? Almost 12:30. Okay. How do I... There's a way to look on Instagram, I know, to look at things you've liked. But I'm trying to do it from the PC client, and the PC client of Instagram is a joke. Why does this even... Why are they so bad? Okay, well, apparently it wasn't on Instagram either. What am I just saw... It was probably like a Facebook thing. That's it. Because, like, I barely have anybody on Facebook anymore that, like, posts art. And I probably was, like, a random thing on Facebook I saw of his. It is definitely nowhere to be found. It is neither Instagram nor Blue Sky. Dun, 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 dun. One last check, then. I definitely don't know how to look at activity feed. I know on Facebook, it's just... All it is ads on Facebook now. That's all I ever friggin' see, basically. But yeah, now trying to remember on Facebook, how do I look at activity? Oh, I don't know. Why are you so dumb, Zuckerberg? Activity login settings. Search history, comments, page likes. What's just normal likes? I just want to see. Dax Gordine, not Max. Stupid me. Dax, DAXGORDINE, Dax Gordine. Anyway, here, let's swap to here, and we can see this is what I was talking about. Dax Gordine. He simplified her really nicely. I like his chunky, weird style, but he actually... The face shape's kind of weird. But Dax. Like Dax Shepard, I guess. Okay. Max, Dax, that is... I get like 9 points to Gryffindor for that one. It does have old Scotty vibes. I don't know if you follow Dax. He's got some cool stuff. I'm trying to find where... I've got so many windows open now. Back to his stuff. He actually did. You would appreciate this one right here. fifth gear Reed Richards. Really fun. He's been doing a lot of rival stuff too. Because, you know, who the hell doesn't? It's too damn good. Ooh, and a Wiccan. I like that. Yeah, he's got like Brett Beanie energy too. Like I love all this stuff. But he's got it, like these are his characters. I'm sure you've seen these before. I could see that looking like the magicians. For sure. Yeah, that totally looks like oh my gosh. I cannot remember the name, but yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about. It definitely looks like one of the main guys. I made fun of Amy. Well, we can look it up. We'll look it up. Magicians cast. This guy, Elliot. He was a gorgeous man, like very pretty. But no, I was giving Amy flack just a couple weeks ago because we were talking about TV shows and stuff like that. And I was like, you never even finished watching Magicians. And she's like, well, I watched some of it. I was like, some of it is not all of it, okay? She got really put off by if you remember the one scene with like the trickster god when pretty rough stuff happens to Juliet, which kind of like breaks her mentally. She had a hard time with that, justifiably so. That was an extremely dark thing to convey in any sort of media, but definitely for females that's a hard one. But fantastic show. I would, man, if we could get anything similar to that again. Like I love all these Apple shows that we've been getting with Silo and Foundation and stuff like that, but man, I want that energy back. That was like lightning in a bottle though. I haven't like I want more of that, please. For sure. The only fantasy I feel like I've watched lately is the Rings of Power. Which honestly, like I really like Rings of Power. I think it's doing a great job for what it's trying to accomplish. But something about Magicians that it wasn't an IP. Well, I mean, technically it was an IP. I mean, they were cool enough to be in Fortnite, that Mistborn stuff. So you know, it must be pretty good, right? Only the best with Tim Sweeney, right? You just didn't buy it. You were playing. You just said, I don't know you. Bobby Hill vibes. Just kicked it in the item shop. I don't know you. That's my purse. Oh, I liked him. I didn't like him. Like you're a, a middle school girl. Like I like him, but I don't like him yet. I lied. I'm making the two straps for the wrist just because I saw Dax's and I'm like, if he can simplify and it has two straps still, I guess I can. I forgot I was doing this hand though, and then I got distracted. I feel like for me with hands, I don't really, I don't know. I feel like I'm always like, I'm good enough with hands that I get the idea around quick enough. And I'm like, yep, that's a good enough of a shape for the hand. And I usually I don't ever like overly finesse it. Cause I'm like, I bet that's fine. It reads, it looks like a hand. I've practiced enough of them in my life so I don't have to worry about them as much at least. And so even if they look off, they don't look bad. They just look a little off, and that's okay. That finger looked real fat for some reason, though. I see what you're saying there, mister. Does look pretty long, though, right? Let's. As I've been sitting here drawing this morning, Amy has actually she's been trained on new stuff at work at the warehouse. Was kind of nervous for her because she's doing more like bigger things now. Um, and it's like she's getting trained on like this massive saw and these other big tools. And I know she can handle it, but doesn't mean I don't get nervous, right? Like they're not messing around some of those tools. So that's what she was doing today. Hopefully all is well in that warehouse land. Yeah. Like hers is like shave down, like, because she's been doing forklifting and stuff like that. So it's like shaving down pallets and doing like, so it's not just like a small saw or like the giant like plastic like snapping mechanism that can like snap stuff together. Oh, good. She's safe. Just a few fingers. That's fine. We've got plenty. I'm glad. I'm glad you you made it through only slightly. Scathed? Is that the word? It's unscathed, so you came through slightly scathed? Is that the word? That sounds weird. Help, I've been scathed. I'm just like a little scathed. I feel like this arm right now is looking really like diminutive, like very little. I need to somehow push the perspective that it's being a little more stretched, I think. Because this arm looks real big compared to this now. I wonder if we can fake it by just playing with this way more. Technically, we want it. As I'm thinking her elbow. How are we looking at this? Her elbow is actually coming toward us, and then the hand is being pushed back. So it would be coming like cylinder this way, kind of. And the elbow this, and then receding back in space, right? And then the hand. So she's like shoulder and cutting this towards the viewer. Not very demure. Oh, the internet and the random things they decide to. Stop making fetch happen. Stop making fetch a thing. Does that even work? I just did this and I didn't even like zoom out to see if this looks better. Yeah, a little bit. Still kind of weird. Still looks like a this is my strong hand kind of energy, but yeah, since Amy is in chat then, so I guess that means she's out of her training. I don't know if she saw that it felt like -6 this morning. I'm curious how cold it was when you left work then, because it had to have been pretty darn cold. Gross. I should be on lunch and I'm choosing not to because I'm a nerd. And I wanted more of this done. And as usual, it's weird the idea of being on stream because when I draw stuff on my own, I am 1,000 times faster, I feel like. Whereas like the second I'm like pumping it on a stream, my brain just goes way slower. Okay, I feel like I need to push this, the fact that her arm is coming towards us a little more. Even not even interacting with people, sometimes when it's not, like, because lately I haven't had too many people even viewing and stuff like that, but it's still just practicing talking as much as I do. And then, like, I didn't do it as much today, but if you check some of the VODs, like, I've been trying to do a lot of, like, narrating why I'm doing certain things, like really decision-making breakdowns and stuff as I'm doing it to kind of get used to not just talking, but also like teaching in a sense. Oh God, the whole iPad just fell. But yeah. But either way, yeah, when you want to go to lunch and something comes up, obviously I have the ability to leave whenever I want right now. You, on the other hand, if you've got the thing you need to finish, that's definitely different. Which is something like Amy and I have talked about with her job. When she's done, she leaves, right? She out, she gone, right? She doesn't have to do anything, mentally can disconnect. But like your job and jobs that I've held in the past too, it's like, oh no, those stick with our head. Either we work remotely and we need to still, work on it, or our brain is still kind of problem solving issues we had and stuff like that. Even after quote unquote hours are gone, like it's just different. I'm giving this curve. Maybe this curve will help sell that she's really kind of twisting a little bit more in space. Just a little. Yeah, I get that. When it's like, I'd rather just when you're in the mood, not in the, but you're in the mode, right? Like fixing it now feels easier than coming back and having to fix it and like reconnect mentally. Yeah, so again, I'm horrible at simplifying stuff because I wanted to keep her shapes very graphic, and here I am shaping way more. Like that arm has so much more shape now. Let's look at then this hard cut where now I'm like, what if we keep adding more? If there's one thing I need to learn with streaming this is like, how can I break shit down quick? Like my stupid anatomical brain is always like, yeah, but like, what if we make it look more real? Like, what if it's become more and more? Where like that Dax Gordon image I showed earlier and stuff like that, like I strive to be able to do both, right? To disconnect my brain to be like, yeah, let's simplify these shapes and leave them simplified and trust that it works. But breaking the shape is 10 times harder than just drawing the actual thing. Because even here, like I added a butt lump here that she's pushing in. I didn't need to do that, but I did. What if we change the shape of this too to kind of sell that it's really coming towards us? Because right now it's getting better for sure. I feel like the shape, but it still feels kind of weird. Yeah, I mean, for real, right? Like when you do this, butt lump must occur. I think it's like just part of it's the law, like the law of the land itself. And I'm fine. I'll give that butt lump. Oh, I drew. How does let me I actually don't understand this. Oh, weird. Okay, so her gloves actually have like, oh, that's weird that they're open, and then I thought this was either like a strap with one piece coming out like a buckle, but it's actually just two completely not connected pieces. I don't know if I want to draw it that way. I don't know how to do that to sell this shape. I don't know. That's weird. What if we just kind of have like one piece so it still kind of looks like just like a strap kind of hanging, and then that's good enough. That kind of sells it. The curve of these aren't selling it. That's what it is. So it's starting off big here, curving with the shape, but then technically if this is receding in space, then the idea is that it's like this. So I think that's part of why I'm running into some weird not lining up visuals for how this is receding. That kind of fixed it. Ish. Ish is good. That still looks weird. I don't know. Perspective, am I right? I forgot I didn't erase this carrot I just drew for perspective. Gone. Really pushing in. Sell it moving more. This looks really fat now. It's not quite the... I don't think real fat arms is what I was going for with this picture. Unless you're into that. Liquefy? Just a little. Holy crap. That was way bigger than I thought. Giggity. Okay. Oy. Okay, well, it is almost 1 o'clock now. Holy crap. Did not realize that. Well, everything's almost lined up. I just didn't do this stupid little cuff now. I'll do that cuff off stream, and then maybe tomorrow start painting her. Or maybe start painting her tonight if I've got time. She's definitely looking closer to being, you know, done though, so. Added more detail to these legs, the feet, the arms, the mini details that kind of help sell it. But really what's selling it, we all know. All right, well, it is 1 o'clock. I need to hop off and not only eat lunch, but I need to get a couple other things squared away. And it's Tuesday, so I will do afternoon gaming stream, but it'll be probably shorter than usual. I'll try and play ranked here in Marvel, but I'll probably get my butt kicked. Realistically, I'll stream for like 2 games, get my butt kicked, and then go work on some YouTube stuff. So seems about right, but and then hopefully I know I'm gonna get super distracted if the board comes in this afternoon or something. I'm gonna be obviously trying to set that up and play with it because, you know, new toys. Who won't do it? So all right, well, I will catch everyone later. Thank you guys for chilling with me as I was drawing some Sue Storm, and until next time, be kind and kick butt.